Hi, this is Kelly Hobart from Alpaca Direct, and I'm here filming Technique Tuesday a little bit early because we're going to be going out of town. So we're filming from our home, so if it looks a little different, that's why it looks different. And today I wanted to take a moment and talk about those patterns that you have put aside and now want to pick up and find out where you are in your pattern when you're not quite sure. So I wanted to go over that because I am going to be bringing this pattern with me. It's called Moyen Knits, and it's by Haida Knits, Hannah Majowski, and it's a lovely sweater. I started it quite some time ago and then got preoccupied with other things and put it aside. And so I will show you where I'm at here, and then we can take a look and see if we can figure out where I'm at. See, it's kind of rumpled, but it has a really beautiful cable pattern on the front, and it's using fingering weight yarn. And I'm alternating one round with one ball of yarn and then another round with another ball of yarn to prevent pooling on my sweater. I think it's turning out beautiful, and when it's blocked, it's going to be gorgeous. So,
how long ago did you knit that?
I have put this down for more than a year, I'm sure. So anyway, I'm looking forward to be able to take it with me. That's awesome. So every week we have a giveaway. And for this last week, the color for our giveaway was the Millie Calori Baby. And this lovely colorway, what did we call it? Jewel Tones. Yes. This was the winning colorway. And if you haven't tried Millie Calori by Lang, it's 100% superwash fine merino. And it is wonderful. So for this week, I was thinking we could choose a color option. This is our Sasquatch sock yarn, and it is a merino nylon blend that's perfect for socks. And we have the blue, or kind of, I don't know, what would you call this, Jim? Lilac and reds. So maybe, yes, it's by what?
CDA yarns.
CDA yarns. It's called Sasquatch.
Coeur d'Alene yarns, sorry.
Right. Jim said it's Coeur d'Alene yarns. Yes. And it's hand painted by a wonderful lady that lives here locally. And it's beautiful. So you can see maybe the red tones and blue, red or blue. And so that we know which one is going to be the winning color for next week. And how you get entered to win is you post comments in that comment section. Let us know what you're working on. If you have a lovely pattern, don't forget to tell us what it is and the name of the designer, and maybe we can enjoy knitting it along with you. So that's great. Anyway, with this Moyen age, I'm going to sit down with you and we're going to see if we can figure out where I'm at in my pattern. And I'll show you some common things that I do when I'm knitting my pattern, so that when I go back to it, it still has a little bit of stuff there. But like I said, it's been so long since I was working on this pattern that I'm going to have to take my time and go through it, make sure I'm starting at the correct point.
Well, tell everyone to be careful on the snow too.
Oh, yes. Jim said, don't forget, all of you out there who are having to drive through the snow and icy conditions, to be very careful. Our cars are just sliding all around right now, and we have to be very careful about applying too much gas and too much brake. Either one will cause a problem. And that's so, yes, and that's why we didn't go over to the office tonight. It's easier just to do it from here, and it's safer. So let's take a look at this lovely pattern. If you haven't used or knit any of Haida Knits patterns, I found her on Ravelry, and she is a fantastic designer, and she has lots of lovely designs, and I really enjoy knitting her patterns. They're easy to follow and they're quite fun. So let's take a look at this and see what we've got here. So I'm thinking, here's my 2 pages of pattern that I had, right? So I'm waiting for Jim here, and I kind of told myself what the gauge is and what size needle I'm using, and then what the dimensions are across. So, and then I had circled a medium size, so that was good. And then on here, I wanted it to increase up to the 38. just so I had a little bit more ease. So it's not, I don't like things that are super, super tight. It's not comfortable. So anyway, I'm going to do that. So the first thing that I would do if I was trying to figure out where I was in this pattern, I can first of all say, where is my working yarn? My working yarn is coming right off of here, and you can see that the next stitch I'll be knitting is over here on the left-hand needle. Now, I always put a pink stitch marker for the beginning of the round, so I know that this pink stitch marker is my beginning of the round. So I have to work across here, and I'm not sure if I'll be doing decreases or increases, so I want to keep that in mind when I'm looking at my pattern to see if I'm going to be increasing any more before I get to this pink stitch marker. Another thing that it would be invaluable for you to do is to go ahead and count, to check a quick stitch count and see where you're at. Another thing to do for this pattern, I was reading this pattern and it tells you as you're going along, let's see if I can find it on here. This is the new copy that I just printed out. So it says it's starting from the bottom up, and we're going to, it says repeat the last 17, repeat the last round 17 more times. So that is this B placement here. Okay, and then we're going to be working in the established pattern until your piece measures 16.25 inches. So another measurement would be important to check is 16, see how many inches we have. Okay, so we're going to check and see how many inches we have. Okay, and we do not have 16.25 inches. So we know that we are not at that part in the pattern. So it says right here, we are still following these patterns for our waist shaping and the chart, which is this chart right here. Okay. So we're following this chart, and you can tell that this is a chart. Let me show you the chart. Here's my little sheet of paper. You see how these little half kind of, I don't know, what would you call them, Jim? They're like little cables that make kind of a rectangular cable section. Those are these sections right here. Okay, so we have repeated this chart a few times. So every repeat would be this cross right here, and then one of these. Okay, and then a cross, and then one of these, and then your cross and one of these. So that's 3, and then 4, and then 5, and then we're have a cross right here's the cross on here. And it looks like we just did, if you look here, we have just done the cable, which is, if you look at this cross right here, there is a cable. These cables right here we have just recently done. So if we look at the pattern, and what I would do for this is you go along here and you go purl 2, knit 2, purl 3, 6, 7. So I would write this down. Find just a blank sheet of paper. So we're going to look at our knitting, right? We're going to go purl 2, knit 2, purl 3, 6, 7, purl 7, knit 2, purl 2. I'm just reading my knits, and you can tell a knit stitch because a knit stitch won't have a noose around its neck, and the purls have a bar that goes around the stitch itself, and you can't remove that bar. It stays there no matter what. So we're on purl 2, and then we have 3, knit 4, okay, purl 2, knit 2, purl 2, 4, 5, 6, 7, purl 7, knit 2, purl 2, knit 2, purl 2. So if you really wanted to be tricky about this, this chart is the pretzel cable chart. And this is the neckline chart, but this right here is the 18 rounds of the chart. So all I have to do is go over here, and I want to look for a purl 2, knit 2, purl 7, and knit 2, purl 2, knit 2, let's see, it's on, it looks like it's a 12. Let's see. I'm looking for, okay, we have purl 2, knit 2, purl 7. So we know that it is that purl 2, see here, purl 2, knit 2, purl 7, purl 2, knit 2, purl 7. That is the one of these rows. It's either 11 or 12. Okay, let's see. And this one is a purl 7, knit 2, purl 2. So, and because it's round number 12.
How do you know that?
Because the pattern matches it. Okay. Yep. And then this one right here, I don't think there's no purl 8s. It could not be a number 10. So it has to be right around round number 12. So what I could do just to be sure that that's correct, when I could go over to here, remove some of these stitches back to here and see if round number 11 is underneath on here. Like if I went back one round just from here back to here and round number 11 matches, then I could go ahead and continue on knitting. Okay. Do you see how I could do that?
Is that commonly what you do?
Lots of times I will, especially when it's a cable pattern, to make sure that it's correct. I could go back just this little section to see what's happening underneath it, just to make sure that I'm on the correct round. Because if you, and that's another thing to do here. Do you see how this one is like a twisted cable right here on the edge? You want to make sure that these match. So the round number 13 is a cross. So this one, yes. See how this one, there's 2 stitches and then there's a cross? Yes, that's another indication that this, in fact, needs to have a cross on the, and round number 13 has a cross. Got it? Mm-hmm. So we're on round number 12 and ready to begin round number 13 when we come back around again. Now, the only thing I have to do is go back and make sure in my pattern, what I want to do is check the stitch count and see where I'm at as far as the waist shaping, because you want to make sure that you're doing the correct, what it says, work the next 7 rounds even in the pattern established, and then repeat the waist shaping every 8th round 3 more times for 16 stitches decreased. And it tells you 1, 2, 3, 4. I should have 190 stitches when I have finished my decreases. Is that cool? Mm-hmm. And then, yeah, on the needles. So that is a great way to figure out where you are in your pattern. You check your stitch count. you write down at least the first 5 stitches of the pattern so you understand where it is that you're where you are in the pattern, and you try and match the pattern that you have put on your piece of paper.
Ask them if they have any
yeah.
patterns that they need to go back and
Do any of you out there have any unfinished projects that you would love to work on again? Oh my gosh, I have lovely patterns, and there are some that I would love to finish. And this is one of them. I'm going to be working on it this week. So I'm very excited to be able to discover where I am in this pattern and be able to move on and start knitting again. So to reiterate what we talked about today, we find the name of the pattern, reprint out the pattern, and hopefully you have a few notes to go off of. If you can't find the name of the pattern and you don't have any clues about what the pattern is, maybe you can just recycle the yarn and find a similar pattern that you would enjoy, and then just rewind that yarn, take any kinks out by soaking your cake of yarn in the water until it relaxes, and then rewind it again so that you can knit off of it. And don't forget to, when you're trying to figure out where you are, you always want to check what your stitch count is, because that'll give you an idea. Like on those decreases, it said I should do that 7 times, and it told me what my finished count was going to be, so I would know exactly how many stitches more I need to decrease before I go on to the next part. So that'll be easy for me to figure out. And then does your stitch count match what's in the pattern? That's always important, because if your stitch count doesn't match, then you have a little problem. Of course, you could kind of fake it till you make it. And have lots of times it'll work out great. But yeah, it's totally doable to be able to take this lovely Moyen Age sweater that I have here. And let me show you the lovely pattern. See the gable? It's beautiful. I can't wait to block this and wear it. It's so lovely. This is some Madeline Tosh yarn. It's very pretty. So I'm excited to be able to wear that, especially since it's freezing cold out now and it's so snowy and beautiful outside. Perfect white winter. Love that. Don't forget to vote on which colors we should be giving out, either the red tones or the blue. And this is Coeur d'Alene, yes, Sasquatch yarn, and it's hand painted here locally by a wonderful lady who has children. And yes, this is gorgeous yarn. If you haven't used it before, you should go ahead and give it a try, because guess what? We have a 10% discount code, and we will be offering that for you. Is it tomorrow, Jim?
On Tuesday.
On Tuesday. Okay, and the code for that is TT124, and that is for a 10% discount for Tuesday only. So go ahead. If you haven't tried this yarn, it's lovely hand-painted yarn. I'm sure you'll love it. And then let's look and see who the winner is for this week. Oh my goodness. For this lovely Lang Millie Calori baby, which is 100% superwash merino wool. And these are the jewel tone colorway that won. And the winner for this week is Cindy Rohr. Yay! Congratulations, Cindy. All you have to do is get in touch with Alpaca Direct customer service and give us your shipping address. We can get this out in the mail to you. Maybe you can make yourself a cute scarf or something. It's just lovely yarn. I'm sure you'll enjoy it. So this next week, I was going to be talking about New Year's resolutions. Can you believe there's almost a brand new year? I can't believe it. Time flies when you're having fun. So I hope you all have a great week, and I will be back with you next Tuesday.